Hello and welcome back to A Course in Miracles, the workbook for students. Today we are on lesson 43. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. Number 1, perception is not an attribute of God. He is the realm of knowledge. Yet he has created the Holy Spirit as the mediator between perception and knowledge. Without this link with God, perception would have replaced knowledge forever in your mind. With this link with God, perception will become so changed and purified that it will lead to knowledge. That is its function as the Holy Spirit sees it. Therefore, that is its function in truth.
In God, you cannot see. Perception has no function in God, and it does not exist. Yet in salvation, which is the undoing of what never was, perception has a mighty purpose. Made by the Son of God for an unholy purpose, it must become the means for the restoration of his holiness to his awareness. Perception has no meaning. Yet does the Holy Spirit give it a meaning very close to God's. Healed perception becomes the means by which the Son of God forgives his brother and thus forgives himself.
3, you cannot see apart from God because you cannot be apart from God. Whatever you do in him, because whatever you think with his mind. If vision is real, and it is real to the extent to which it shares the Holy Spirit's purpose, then you cannot see apart from God.
3 5-minute practice periods are required today. One as early and one as late as possible in the day. The third may be undertaken at the most convenient and suitable time that circumstances and readiness permit. At the beginning of these practice periods, repeat the idea for today to yourself with eyes open. Then glance around you for a short time, applying the idea specifically to what you see. 4 or 5 subjects for this phase of the practice period are sufficient. You might say, for example, God is my source. I cannot see this desk apart from him. God is my source. I cannot see that picture apart from him.
Right? 5, although this part of the exercise period should be relatively short, be sure that you select the subjects for this phase of practice indiscriminately, without self-directed inclusion or exclusion. For the second and longer phase, close your eyes, repeat today's idea again, and then let whatever relevant thoughts occur to you, add the idea in your own personal way. Thoughts such as, I see through the eyes of forgiveness. I see the world as blessed. The world can show me myself. I see my own thoughts, which are like God's. Any thought related more or less directed to today's idea is suitable. The thoughts need not bear any obvious relationship to the idea, but they should not be in opposition to it.
If you find your mind wandering, if you begin to be aware of thoughts which are clearly out of accord with today's idea, or if you seem to be unable to think of anything, open your eyes, repeat the first phase of the exercise period, and then attempt the second phase again. Do not allow any protracted period to occur in which you become preoccupied with irrelevant thoughts. Return to the first phase of the exercises as often as necessary to prevent this. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. In applying today's idea in the shorter practice periods, the form may vary according to the circumstances and situations in which you find yourself during the day. When you are with someone else, for example, try to remember to tell him silently, God is my source. I cannot see you apart from him. This form is equally applicable to strangers as it is to those you think are closer to you. In fact, try not to make any distinctions of this kind at all. Beautiful.
Today's idea should also be applied throughout the day to various situations and events that may occur, particularly to those which seem to distress you in any way. For this purpose, apply the idea in this form: God is my source. I cannot see this apart from him.
If
Mm,
no if no particular subject presents itself to your awareness at the time, merely repeat the idea in its original form. Try today not to allow any long periods of time slip by without remembering today's idea and thus remembering your function.
yeah,
Pardon me.
yeah, this is a good one.
So, number one, perception is not an attribute of God because perception is what we see through these.
Yes, through this. It's called double vision.
Yeah.
And
And
we
so
see
perception is not an attribute of
subject,
God.
yeah, subject, object. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that is the separation.
Hmm.
Yes. He is the realm of knowledge. He has, yes, without this link, perception would have replaced knowledge forever in your mind. Perception will become so changed and purified that it will lead to knowledge.
And knowledge is the knowledge of God, which is our source, and we see no differences between perception, like perception. We won't see any differences. That's all. We won't see any differences between anything.
Right. And we won't be using our perception to see anything. We will be using God as our source, as our
Yes.
perception.
Yes, we'll be seen through the eye, the one eye, the like they call it the third eye, or they call it the holy eye, or the eye of God, right? And that's single vision. So
Yeah,
everything is singular. It's all singular. Everything's the same. It's all holy, all of it. There's no distinctions, there's no separation, and there's no differences. And if, like, the second page, I remember it, something about the bottom of number 5. Any thought related more or less directly to today's idea is suitable. The thoughts need not bear any obvious relationship to the idea, but they should not be in opposition to it. So it's about seeing that there is no opposition,
right.
where perception would see opposition. It would try to defend itself because it's being threatened, because of division and making separation real makes you feel unsafe and insecure. And then when you return back to singularity, the singular vision, then there's nothing to be threatened by.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's just everything's equal in the sight of God.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no offensive, no feelings of opposition will arise because God's world is all equally, it's all his knowledge. It's all been created out of his knowledge. So that's all singular.
Yeah.
It's a pretty, this is a really big lesson.
It really is. And I like the ideas, the thoughts that they suggest. I see through the eyes of forgiveness. I
Yes.
see the world as blessed. Someone would, especially in today's world, someone would think you're absolutely nuts. The world can show me myself. So because I see the world as blessed, because if you don't see it as blessed, then you're using your perception, which is your human eyes and your duality.
Mhm.
Whereas if you're actually seeing the world as blessed and the world can show me myself, reflect back to me what's going on, um, then that's when you go back, well, you are singularity again.
Yeah. I mean, if we see differences out there, it's because we're looking through perception.
Yeah,
It's not even coming from out there. It's so conditioned in our mind
yeah,
that other people are seeing through perception,
yeah.
but that isn't even true.
Well, there is nobody else. We get back to that. There is nobody
Totally.
else. So our only
Yeah.
perception is the movie theater that's,
It's our own.
well,
It's
that's
our
not the
own.
only, but my perception is what I see. But the truth is that there's no separation between the table, the chair, Joey wrapped up in blankets, or my bread that's about to come out of the oven. There's no separation.
Right.
So,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank
But
you.
in our perception, it's all separate. So we're we're looking to find God's way of seeing things, which isn't with our eyes. I'll be
Exactly.
right
And
back.
okay.
Thank you. I'm when I was
The
awake the
last
other night, I was thinking I need to make a bunch of sourdough to take because I'm going to have company pretty soon. So I'm going to be making all this sourdough. Anyways, back to the topic.
Well, yeah, I was just going to repeat the very last sentence. Try today not to allow any long periods of time to slip by without remembering today's idea and thus remembering your function. It's very like that. It's very easy to let time slip by and slip back into something else other than your function,
Yeah,
right? Which is to remember this lesson.
exactly.
And
And I
there's
wonder if
nothing
while I'm
apart.
walking, I can create a song out of this one too, so that I sing it all day long.
Yeah, God is my source. I cannot see apart from him.
Yeah,
I cannot see, or no, I cannot see you apart from him. I cannot see you separate from him or different from him. Any word that would could be a synonymous with apart, separate, in
right,
opposition,
right. Divided.
even in judgment. Like I
Yeah,
cannot see you in judgment of him. Yeah, and we apply this to everyone, not just the people who are close to us, it says, but to anybody. Where does it say that? Was it a stranger? Equally applicable to strangers as it is to those you think are closer to you. So the people you live with versus the people you see down the street or at the store or wherever. It,
exactly. Yes.
everything's equally the same. To make any distinctions is not being remembering your function.
Right, right.
Well, our function, because it's ours. It's it's one function. Yeah. It's not lots of functions.
Right.
It's just one. Because there's just one.
Well,
I
and also this lesson adds on to all the previous ones. I don't see a desk unless I see God, or God is in everything I see. So this adds on to it. God is my source. I cannot see this desk apart from him. So it's teaching us that God is, it's reminding us that God is everywhere
And
and
everything.
and everything and everything in between. Like we think nothing is here, but there's actually energy here too that
And there's
is
no
still
thing. It's no thing. God is nothing because it's not a thing. And anything that we think is a thing, we're looking at it through our perception
yeah,
as an object.
yeah, yes. Perception has no meaning, yet does the Holy Spirit give it meaning very close to God's. Healed perception becomes the means by which the Son of God forgives his brother and thus forgives himself.
Mm.
Healed perception. So
So
our function today is God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. That was from number 2.
And above all, well, have we did that one? Above all else, I want to see.
Yes, that was just a few lessons ago.
Right. But in God, you cannot see. Well, they use the seeing in a different context here. But in God, you cannot see as perception sees. Perception has no function in God.
Right. Yes, perception has no function.
Yeah. And perception is, for me, perception means bodies.
Yeah, because that's
Bodies
the only
have
way to have perception.
bodies have no function in God and do not exist.
Hmm.
So if we try to make bodies exist and make them special, we're not in our function. We're not seeing truly. And we're making bodies into what the ego would have made as
Hmm.
separate beings, separate doing separate things, everything separate and apart from each other, which has no function in God.
Hmm.
Made by the Son of God for an unholy purpose, it must become the means for the restoration of his holiness to his awareness. So this lesson will restore our holiness to our awareness
Yeah.
because perception has no meaning. Separation has no meaning.
You cannot see apart from God because you cannot be apart from God. Thank
Right.
God.
Yeah, yeah. That's a very powerful statement.
Hmm.
Because every
Whatever
word,
you do in him because whatever you think with his mind. If vision is real and it is real to the extent to which it shares the Holy Spirit's purpose, then you cannot see apart from God.
and we cannot even speak apart from God. Like right
Hmm.
now, every single word, whether it's words of, joining or separating, they're still they're still not separate from God. Even words of separation aren't separate from God.
Well, and they don't exist,
Right, they're all equally the same. Hmm.
right? They're all equally the same.
And God is my source of which is love. So perception isn't loving,
No,
but we are. God is our source, so God is loving. Love brings the meaning to perception. Without it, perception has no meaning.
exactly. The minute we're using our human eyes to see perception, then we're not in our loving state, our source state.
Because we'll have reasons to divide and oppose and judge and
Yeah,
try to control and everything that goes along with all of that. It's
all
just
of that, yes.
it's all of it. Yeah.
With this link with God, perception will become so changed and purified that it will lead to knowledge.
Mm.
That is its function as the Holy Spirit sees it. So that's our function. Just God is my source. I cannot see apart from him.
It's all whole and holy all at once.
Yeah,
Because this world
yeah.
was made out of separation. It was made of separation. So to
Hmm.
judge it as separate is not our function. Mhm. And will lead to suffering,
Hmm.
which isn't real either. It's not a suffering isn't a part of God from God either.
No.
feelings of great suffering of loss and lack and all that stuff. It's still not separate and apart from him, but the mind makes it separate because it doesn't feel good.
And it creates separation. If I feel those things, then someone else must not.
Yes, there's a and it makes its perception, it becomes the cause of our suffering.
Yeah.
and and we got to switch it around. God is my source, so God is love is the source, so I can extend my love onto that which before looked like the cause, but it's not, it's the effect. So we can, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but we can switch the cause and effect around and then be that we are the cause of how we see our world. So we extend love and we bring everything into uh, connect like the same and forgiveness in forgiveness.
Yeah, this is a interesting chapter because it is about perception and acknowledging, noticing our perceptions,
Including our thoughts,
including our thoughts.
because thoughts are perception as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't say that here, but
It did refer to our thoughts, though.
oh, okay, good, because
Do not allow any protracted period to occur which you become preoccupied with irrelevant thoughts.
oh, okay. Where's that?
That's in number 6, the last, second
Oh,
last line.
that's very
Return to the first phase of the exercises as often as necessary to prevent this.
right. So the thought might be, oh, so and so or such and such out there, we've judged the perception in some way.
Hmm.
That's an irrelevant thought.
Yeah,
Judgment is an irrelevant thought because it's those kinds of thoughts are dividing and their function is to divide. So
yes,
dividing thoughts are irrelevant thoughts and they're perceptual. They come from perception. They don't come from God.
that's right. Yeah, number 6 is all about thoughts. If you find your mind wandering, if you begin to be aware of thoughts which are clearly out of accord with today's idea, or if you seem to be unable to think of anything, open your eyes, repeat the first phase of the exercise period, and then attempt the second phase again. Do not allow any protracted period to occur in which you become preoccupied with irrelevant thoughts.
Yeah, like a perception might be like just anything that we've labeled. Anything. Anything.
Hmm.
A bed, a wall, a chair, what future thoughts. Um we place meaning on them. We place a label, we place something.
Hmm.
And we and then in that very moment, boom, we've created a separation.
Hmm.
And then the preoccupation comes into play.
Hmm.
Then we just
God is
return
my soul. Sorry, go ahead.
then we just return. What do we do in that moment? Help me. Return to the first phase of the exercises as often as necessary. God
God is
is,
my source.
yeah.
I cannot see anything apart from him. God is my source.
Yeah, I cannot see this whatever apart from him.
Hmm.
Even this thought, I cannot, like, they talk about objects, but I wonder if we can apply everything, like feelings even. I
I
cannot,
would think so.
I cannot see the feeling of separation apart from him. I cannot see this act of judgment apart from him. Everything is him.
Hmm.
I cannot see this concept of a person even apart from him.
Yeah. Yes, because each area has changed the second letter, the second sentence. I cannot see you. I cannot
Mm.
see this. I cannot feel this apart from him.
Right, because all perception does include seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, feeling. These are all
All the
perception.
human things, all
Yeah.
the human things. Yeah. Or the
And
body
sense,
things.
the sense, yes, body things, sense perception.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thought can also divide as well, but we're using thoughts now to to bring together, like to bring it into singularity.
To
Thought,
remember.
yes, to remember instead of to forget. Wow,
Yes.
it's really important. The remembering.
Yes. We are to remember.
Yeah,
God is my source.
yeah.
Yes. What a good lesson and a great way to start a Friday.
And a great way to forgive and be forgiven.
You are forgiven. I
I am
cannot see your forgiveness apart from him.
I am forgiven.
Hmm.
And when I don't believe that I am forgiven, it's because I have not forgiven.
And you're using your perception,
Right,
which is not knowledge, which is not the truth.
right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You are forgiven. You are perfect. You are perfect. God is your source. God is my source.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very, very loving and feels like a loving parent. Just yeah,
Yeah.
saying, I love
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Fully embraced, fully unconditionally loving. Um, yeah. Fully supported.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Wonderful.
thank you. That feels
Thank
very
you. We'll end the recording here.